Sometimes, falling in love is certainly unexpected. But how far is your limit to fight for your loved one? Well, if you think you can somehow relate yourself to our topic today, then let's go and watch now the 10 of the most romantic anime movies that will surely fit your taste. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button for the newest updates.
ごめんね。私グズだから。ハウルはずっと待っててくれたのに。
Coming in at number 10, Flavors of Youth. This film is divided into 3 storylines: The Rice Noodles, A Little Fashion Show, and Love in Shanghai. The first part will tell us the traditional things from Xiaoming's childhood with his grandmother. He will realize here that even there are plenty things he wants to say, it will still gradually disappear over time. For the second part, it is about the unconditional love of the 2 sisters named Yilin and Lulu who will go through various trials. But there is one important thing that they learn here. No matter how tough or frustrating happens, they still have each other to lean on. And on the last part, witness the unsettled confession of Limo and Xiaoyu when they were young. The key for Limo's feelings to come back again was when he saw an old cassette tape stored in a dusty box. Here he will discover an old message for him recorded by Xiaoyu. Will Limo be able to continue their broken love story and finally confess his feelings for Xiaoyu this time? At number 9, Ride Your Wave. This is probably a spoiler if I let you know that one of the main protagonists will die, but that's not really the end of their exciting story. 19 years old Hinako and 21 years old firefighter Minato met in a fire incident wherein Hinako was rescued by Minato in a burning apartment. They get along well after the incident and fell in love with each other. Surfing has really been a hobby of Hinako ever since childhood, so Minato also became interested to try and learn surfing. But a terrible tragedy took place. Minato drowned in the sea when he secretly trained alone during the winter storm. Hinako suffered a lot of grief and sadness when he passed away, reason for her not to be able to surf again. Until one day she found out that every time she sang their favorite song, Minato appears on water. Minato seems to have kept his promise to Hinako even after his death that he will always be on her side. Here Hinako's cheerfulness returns, but what will happen if it's time for Minato to ascend to heaven? Can she still be able to ride the waves again towards the obstacles that comes to her life?
休むとき、必要なときはいつでも呼んで。
いつまで助けてもらえるのかな。
ひなこがおばあさんになっても、ひなこが一人で波に乗れるまで。
At number 8, Weathering with You. Because of being suffocated living with his parents, a high school boy named Hodaka Morishima left his hometown and went to Tokyo. He met here Hina Amano, a girl who has the ability to control the weather. Many incidents will bring them closer until they became friends. They are both short of money and looking for an income. So when Hodaka sees the ability of Hina, he suddenly thought that they could make money from it. Eventually, their chosen job became successful. They're both happy helping others and they also feel more comfortable with one another. But later on, they will realize that the more Hina uses her ability, the more body parts of her turns into water. Is Hina the cause of all the weather abnormalities? And what sacrifices will Hodaka make here once he finds out the situation of Hina?
だから、ありがとう、裸。
天気って不思議だ。
Number 7, Fireworks. A time travel romance anime that will definitely play your mind. Nazuna, a quite mysterious student who faced some family issues. While on the other hand, students from the same school named Norimichi and Yusuke both secretly admire Nazuna. The complex of the story begins when the 3 bet on a swimming race that left Norimichi defeated, while the winner Yusuke was privately asked on a date by Nazuna to watch the fireworks. But Yusuke did not go, and instead he asked Norimichi to tell it to Nazuna. Here Norimichi discovered that Nazuna had a plan to run away, but he was puzzled and was too late to do something, because later Nazuna's mother found it out. Norimichi regrets something in the events in which that if he had only won the swimming race before, he would have known it earlier. In his anger, he suddenly picked and threw a mysterious marble, causing it to rewind time back to the point where they were racing. Will this mysterious marble really be the answer for Norimichi to correct his actions? And at what point can his doubts change the outcome of their story?
俺はもしもお前がいなくなるとしても今日だけは一緒にいたい。
Number 6. Her Blue Sky. When Aoi and Akane's parents passed away in an accident, Akane has given up her ambition to go to Tokyo with Shinosuke so she can take care of her younger sister Aoi. While Shinosuke promises himself that he will return for Akane after fulfilling his dream of becoming a famous musician. Years passed and the paths of the three met again. Shinosuke's behavior changed, but still he became a musician, but not that famous. Akane remained single for no apparent reason. And Aoi continues to be a bass player because she used to admire Shinosuke as a musician. Now, the story will be more interesting. Aoi discovers the spirit of Shinosuke's younger version from 13 years ago inside a temple. And while the current Shinosuke mocks Aoi's effort, she then feels attracted for the other Shinosuke because of the compliments he says to her. But what about the lost feelings of Akane and the current Shinosuke? It looks like things will really get messy. At number 5, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Better get your handkerchief ready as tears will surely flood. By the title itself, you may be deceived and think this is a scary film. Well, it's a big no. The story begins when Haruki accidentally discovers Sakura's secret, having a serious illness. Haruki is not that kind of sociable and always prefer to stay away from attention. But Sakura's behavior is the opposite. She is very bubbly and popular in class. So when she saw Haruki's personality, she wanted to help him change himself. Even though at first Haruki didn't care about Sakura and wants to be alone, they still became friends because of Sakura's persistence. Many raise eyebrows at the friendship between the two because apart from Sakura's family, only Haruki knows her secret. Sakura confessed to him that she would not last long because of her illness. So Haruki did everything to make her happy and do what she wanted to do in the rest of her time.
本心だよ。ありがとう。
Number 4. A Whisker Away. The story of Mio Sasaki, who goes through various challenges in life. She belongs to a broken family and always feels she's not getting anyone's attention. And every day at school, his crush Kento Hinode repeatedly rejected her. Until one day, a mysterious mask seller suddenly appeared and offered a strange mask. The mask turns out to be magical when worn and can change her appearance as a cat. Mio got closer to Hinode in her cat form, and she also somehow escaped on her problems. But she later found out that the mask had a related replacement, which could result in a lifespan reduction and become a permanent cat. Can Mio still undo her fate and find a way to get back? Or she would rather choose to be a cat for her beloved?
謝らなきゃ。ちゃんと帰ってくるよな。
私はちゃんと日の出のいいとこ知ってるよ。
At number 3, a silent voice. Like other schools, bullies are always there. When Shoya Ishida was still in elementary, he used to bully Shoko Nishimiya. Nishimiya is mute and must always wear a hearing aid. Even though she has a disability, Nishimiya is still cheerful and sociable, but Ishida and his classmates makes this a reason to oppress her more. Her other friends turned away from her to not get involved. Nishimiya's mother found out about the abuse. She decided to transfer again her daughter to another school. After that, everyone in the class only blamed Ishida until he was now the target of bullying. Years passed and Ishida still not forget the sins he committed against Shoyo. So he decided to meet her again to fix and pay for what he did back then. Can Ishida make up now for the sins he had committed?
西宮待って
Number 2. Hello World. A sci-fi romantic drama film with a twisted storyline. Naomi Katagaki is a typical high school student who loves to read books. One day, he met a mysterious person out of nowhere. Here he was told that the world he was living in was just a recorded data, which is a project of the Japanese government that they call Old Tale. It appears that this mysterious man turned out to be himself 10 years from the future. The mission of this adult Naomi is to prevent the accident that will cause death to her future girlfriend named Ruri Ichigo. With the help of the adult Naomi's journal, the teenage Naomi still carried out the task he had to do in order for him to be close to Ruri. But there are bots in the system whose job is to maintain whatever is supposed to happen. Can the two Naomi change what is said to happen to Ruri? And is there really any truth to what this future Naomi is saying, or there is more deeper reason? And for the number 1, Your Name. Mitsuha is a 17-year-old high school girl living in a small town. She was not happy and dissatisfied with the life she has, to the point that she wished that in the next life she would be a boy. On the other hand, Taki Tachibana is a 17-year-old student doing a part-time job in Tokyo. Their simple lifestyle changed when they started switching bodies every time they woke up for some unknown reason. At first they thought it was just a strange dream, since the two of them never really met. But when it was repeated and lasted, they planned a way to confirm and communicate with each other through leaving a note on a paper or in the body itself. Even though they are unrelated and far from each other, they still gradually fall in love, especially with the information they gather every time they switch bodies. Can Mitsuha and Taki have a chance to meet face to face and tell each other how they feel?
これってもしかして
これってもしかして本当に
私夢の中であの男の子と
俺は夢の中であの女と入れ替わってる
So that's it for today's list. Leave a like if you enjoy our video and don't forget to subscribe to be updated for more upcoming top 10 videos. See ya!